to turn to the border battle. I was in the El Paso, Texas region yesterday at the border with Mexico, where I sat down for an exclusive interview with the city's mayor, Dee Margo. We talked about the problems his city is facing as a result of this border crisis. Can you assess the situation for us? We've seen a lot of apprehensions while we were here right at the border. What can you tell us about El Paso right now with regard to immigration and illegals?
Well, the immigration impact, it is a humanitarian crisis from the standpoint of the numbers. But the movement of the CBP personnel off our bridges is having a significant detrimental economic impact on El Paso and also Texas and the rest of the nation. I mean, the bridge wait times for commerce coming across is anywhere from 11 hours to 2 days. And that affects all the manufacturing operations for automobiles, especially in the Midwest.
So in other words, what you're saying is you have patrolmen, you have agents that are supposed to be working on one thing, but they're being pulled to deal with the onslaught of people coming across, and that's affecting trade, it's affecting commerce, it's affecting the business of El Paso.
Correct. It's the wait times across north. We have 35,000 passenger vehicles per day that come across legally from Mexico. 15% of my retail trade is a Mexican consumer. So our sales tax revenues that impact El Paso. The immigrants that are coming across are only here for 24 to 48 hours typically, unless there are health issues or problems or whatever. But so there is a crisis from that standpoint in the fact that yesterday was 650 came across. This morning I just got the word 452 are being released this afternoon. I mean, the stress on personnel is what's hurting us. The city of El Paso has a public-private partnership with the CBP to pay overtime for the bridges of $1.6 million per year. We offered to pay more money the other day to see if we could enhance that, and they said, no, we don't have the personnel. We can't do it. So that is the problem on that. It is a humanitarian crisis that's manifesting itself into an economic issue for our region, for our state. You know, we have $108 billion of imports and exports that go through our land ports on an annual basis.
What do you want to see done about this?
Well, I want to see Congress develop some intestinal fortitude on both sides of the aisle, in both houses, to do something about immigration reform.
So what happens then? They come across, oftentimes their children are sick. The Border Patrol agents have to take them to hospitals, make them a sandwich, do all stuff that they shouldn't be doing because they should be securing the borders.
Our Office of Emergency Management at the City of El Paso is integrally involved with CBP and the processing. If they need emergency transportation to our hospitals, we're involved. If our Sun Metro bus system needs to provide transportation, we're involved. We pay for all that, but we work closely with them. Yes, that is part of the issue.
What's the cost of all this, Mr. Mayor?
We're still trying to quantify it. I don't know exactly what the cost is, but every time, as I say, we use our Sun Metro system to transport them, we have to pay the system out of our general budget. But I'm really concerned about the fact that 15% of our consumers are Mexican, and this impact on if it takes 3 to 5 hours to cross the bridge, they're not coming over here and buying and purchasing goods, yeah, which precludes our sales tax revenue.
So there's also that. I mean, it's
absolutely
actually impacting the economy.
Oh, yeah.
Under your leadership, this city remains safe, amazingly, which is, I mean, a question, because you've got these illegals coming in and we don't know where they're going. What do you think the percentage is of those people who stay in El Paso versus the people who go out to all over the country?
Oh, I'd say it's less than 10%, probably less than 5% stay.
So they don't stay in El Paso?
They don't stay here. They're here from 24 to 48 hours. They come in, our NGO, the Annunciation House, and they're volunteers. Once they're released by CBP, the immigrants, they help them contact their sponsors, whether they be family or friends, arrange bus fare, arrange airfare, and then they're gone. The typical timeline is 24 to 48 hours max. Sometimes it's as long as 96 hours. But we're seeing more and more on the health issues. You're seeing the chicken pox, the scabies, all kinds of things coming in because these people have been traveling for months to come across.
Right. So where do you think they go once they come to El Paso after the 48 hours? Where do they go?
Well, my wife and I and my grandchildren have fed them on occasion, and we've talked to them. They'll go to the Midwest, they'll go to the Northeast, some of them go to Miami. They're traveling all over the United States.
Wow, and
they're legal from the standpoint of having to come back. You know, your viewers may think, well, these are, you know, they're all illegal. They're not. They've been processed. And if they've been processed correctly through ICE, they have ankle bracelets on, and then they're supposed to come back. But the system's overwhelmed.
That's just incredible because the system is so overwhelmed.
Yes.
And there are sick children. I mean, the children are being put into very dangerous situations.
And in some cases, they're informing me that we may have, well, I don't know how to phrase it, rental children, so to speak, that they're not necessarily the actual families, that they're bringing these children in. So there's human trafficking. There are some real serious issues that Congress needs to address.
So when you say rent the child, so in other words, they're in, you know, let's say Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, and they're renting their kids so that somebody could cross the border with the child just to make them look like a family.
Family, correct.
And then the kids are going back and doing it again.
That's what I'm hearing.
How many are real families? How many are making believe they're a family?
I don't have that data. I don't have that data, but you know, it is a great concern. I mean, it just keeps more and more every day.
Really an incredible situation that is still developing. My thanks to El Paso Mayor Dee Margo.